Hey,
We are
Chrystopher.
live. Hello, Jessica. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am very good.
Awesome.
Um, Welcome, everybody, to the Chronicles of Chiron, the Lion, the Witch, and the Healer. Tonight, we are going to talk about plant medicine. We are going to talk about healing. We're going to be talking about some ascension symptoms that we might be experiencing, all the good shit. So, Jessica, what's going on with you?
I feel so refreshed. So, Chris and I had a retreat this weekend. We spent some time together.
I'm so
And
glad you feel refreshed.
okay. So Friday night, I did not sleep. And I don't know what that was about, if it was like, just preparing for the retreat or if it was like, I even felt like, is spirit, waking me up? I mean, let's talk
So,
about that. I'm like,
just so everyone knows, Jessica and I went to a plant medicine retreat this past weekend, and we journeyed together into Wonderland, okay? And this was for healing purposes. So, everyone watching and who will watch this video, we are supporters of plant medicine. This is something that I was drawn to naturally. You were drawn to naturally. This is something that I think Spirit has drawn us to because, and I would like to talk about our thoughts on that at some point, because a lot of people will be wondering, what the hell are they talking about? And why do that? And why not traditional things? And what benefit am I going to get out of this? Because it's not just a crazy experience, dude. It is a magical healing experience that I think that we are benefiting from and will continue to benefit from. And so you were saying about on Friday, because the retreat was on Saturday, so you're talking about the night before.
so typically, and let's just also say, like, this is very sacred, very sacred.
And we respect it.
It is how I've done my healing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been um, doing different retreats for a year off and on, and it's transformed myself and how I feel about my body. Typically, before I do a retreat, I really am checking in. Typically, when you are say yes, you send your money, you're emotionally already committed.
Yes.
And so
And
you're starting your emotional journey then. Same with when I have a Reiki training this weekend for my witch school. Ding, little plug there.
shameless.
Ding, ding. I know, shameless. They know. They know me by now. But, we have Reiki training this weekend. So those ladies that are in the Reiki training are doing a big healing, a big cleansing. So there are different ways to heal. This is the way I've chosen. So even doing a Reiki cleansing, or if I'm doing a retreat, I am emotionally committed to clearing out my chakras, my body, my aura. Because our body hangs on to things emotionally. So for me, like for years, I've been like, what the fuck? I mean, my legs look fly. My arms look good. My chest looks good. My face looks good. My belly hangs on to all this weight.
But you know why that is, right? Let's just be very
energy.
clear, because it is energy, but let's also be very clear that queer.
We can be very queer.
We queer as fuck, okay? So
this is true.
but that's called empath belly, okay? We
Yes.
all have it. They all come in all shapes and sizes, but empath sensitive folk, that's our body's way of protecting the solar plexus. And so I was taught that, and it gave me a lot of peace about being thin, but just always having a little bit right there, and always being like, why doesn't that go away no matter what I do? And it's like, well, there's something to that, and now I'm kind of proud of it in a way. I got Chiron in the first house, okay, and so do you. So we're always gonna be like, there's gonna be something wrong with the body, okay? But there is something special about that, and it's we can honor that, okay? And this type of work helps us to honor that, okay? But you were saying that you couldn't sleep on Friday.
Let's go back to that. I have so many thoughts going. We only
Me
have
too, because I also want to talk about, I want to
to
talk about what happens
Okay.
when you say yes to one of these types of things.
Okay,
And
so
you
let's
say yes to it.
so here's what I noticed last week. Where to begin?
Mm-hmm.
I was really energized last week. I was on high alert and very social.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that for the past month, my dad is like, hey, I'm like, hey. And then he'll be like, hey again. So he's been showing up.
You're going to summon him.
Well, let's go hold him off for a minute. He's probably got shit to say. So I just am aware of. You're already looking at him. I'm just aware of. Okay.
I was trying not to be noticeable.
Mediums. Okay. So I was aware also. I've been doing cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, we're just doing it, okay? You know I'm going to say this well, Chip, but still. I've been doing intimate cleansing, so I did
You are turning me on. You know us gay men love a good enema.
Let me tell you about this. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing. No. So anyway, cleansing, and my gut was swollen this last time, and that has not happened. That's not been an issue. Like, it's been comfortable. It's been a good cleanse. And I was like, why am I bloated? Dad is showing up. I'm on high social alert.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
Are you feeling some type of pain in your like left side right here?
Sometimes.
Because I'm feeling it right now, and I never feel this, and it's right by the rib cage, but it's not there. What?
I'm just a little nervous of what you're going to say.
I'm just saying.
Like, should I go back to
now that we're let's go back to you taking a massive enema, okay?
I love my life that I can come on live and tell you that.
Yeah, and talk shit.
Listen, I've been trying to get healthy and take care of my fucking body.
No, I love getting the shit sucked out of me. I get colon hydrotherapy.
Oh, I want to go do the hydrotherapy. Like,
you need to do it. It's very good.
So many chats this weekend about nutrition, about body cleansing. I'm like, my body is asking for it. It's showing up like so much. So I'm just listening to it. So I'm aware.
Right.
So the things that came up. And then I went to bed on Friday. And then at 2:30, I was like, okay, all right. And then I read about the Ascended Masters. And then I read about something else spiritual. And then I was like, well, what the shit else am I going to do? Let me look at TikTok or something. And then I was like, maybe I'll try to sleep. And then it was 5 a.m. I was like, oh, now you want to sleep? I'm getting up in an hour, and now you want to sleep? All right, well, let's try. So I slept for a little bit. So I did not take a nap, and I guess because I was around a lot of new people, I don't want to say a lot, but some new people, I'm very curious. And
yes.
again, high alert. So my energy was, I didn't take a nap or anything.
I was right there with you.
Yeah. Just kept going. And then, getting to sleep was great. And I know that you haven't gotten rest.
I mean, I did. I slept 6 hours last night, but that is not enough for a highly sensitive person.
Right. I know. I'm usually 7 to 8, sometimes 9.
8 to 10 hours is my good.
Yeah. Also, I've been craving sugar a lot. So I don't know.
But this has been, this was going on before the retreat, though.
Yes, last week.
I understand. So
I just figured
there are some things wanting to to come out and purge. Okay, there's a lot of things happening in the collective right now. Ascension symptoms. There's cells that are releasing a lot of toxins. You got to understand, for new light to come in, or light codes, if you want to get all like that. Okay, this new light has to come in. The cells in the body has to make room for it. So there is a releasing of the denser things. And as certain things are releasing, a lot of these things that are releasing have chemical compound connections, which sugar would bind to those things. Okay, so there's a craving there, but there's some emotional things that are purging for you right now. Okay, and this feels like comfort and things like that. And sugar, oh, interesting. Now your dad is going to pop in, okay? Because you were given things as a child, just like I was. Both of us were given sugars and sweets and things like that, not just to shut us up, but it was just part of the comfort in the family. This is what we eat. My parents always had a cupboard full of Pop-Tarts, Little Debbie's, Ho-Hos, and that's what you went and snuck you some when you were bored. So there's a lot of that is coming up and purging right now for you. And
that's good insight.
I also heard do it. I also heard eat it.
Because it's not really what's affecting my weight. I don't eat a lot of it. I don't like overeat.
Yeah.
Like, I've now discovered that how I love my body, how I talk about Chiron in the first house. I've noticed a lot of old beliefs lifting, because as I talked about my intention for this weekend, I talked about being seen, and it was almost like, what? Yeah, I think you dealt with that already. And like something else, oh, I think you did that one too. And then it was like, okay, seeing my worth. And I actually got asked the question, like, what's your biggest insecurity? And of course, my biggest insecurity is my body. And there was a lot of surprise for that, because I think it's old now. I think a lot of it has healed. I'm not saying it's gone, but I can look at myself and be like, oh, yeah, your curves are looking good. You know what I mean? Like, there's a shift.
There is a shift. This was very powerful. The retreat a few months ago was very wild in certain ways, but this one for me was more intense, and it left me feeling lots of things. And I can definitely say, I mean, you said something to me the night as we were lifting out of it, okay? And I had just gone to the restroom, and I was washing my hands, and I looked up in the mirror, and I was like, I look good. I said, I look good right now. I felt like I not only looked more manly, although that's just what I'm attracted to. So but also my hair was messy, and I just looked like I had been through something, because I did just go through something. And I'm telling you, that 7 hours felt like 2 hours, and I wanted more. I was like, that was 7 hours? That felt like 2 hours. No, I was so upset that it was over already. But when I came out of the bathroom and we were all talking, and you go,
I remember, yeah.
And I said, what are you looking at? And I knew when you were looking at me, I was like, oh my God, she sees it too. What if we just jumped dimensions? What if I just jumped into a new parallel reality where I'm not ugly? Like, those were the things I was thinking.
Yeah.
And you were like, you look good. You look like more manly. And I was like, the fuck did you just say? And I was like, I just thought that in the bathroom. And I'm like, this is what I see every day. What happened? So maybe something changed. And I remember thinking, maybe something lifted or something got transmuted in that time. But also, we've done these retreats. Anytime I've done plant medicine, it's always been with females. Always. Okay? For the past few years. This was the first time that I was around other men doing it. And that's also something, both of us have daddy issues, okay? And the fact that we went into this having similar intentions and because neither one of us have been with a man who is spiritually up to speed with us and doesn't even need to be psychic medium or highly sensitive, but just has the open heart enough to accept us fully and to love deeply and compassionately. We haven't really had that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what I felt like. Again, we both congruently had this. I mean, I definitely had this aha moment that I want that's something I need to work on and something I need to accept. And that's something that is deep in me, is this fear of intimacy with men and wanting it so badly, but looking for it in negative ways, finding things attractive in men that are not healthy because it represents something else, and sitting there and just, I guess I'm just going to say, being held and feeling like I should be doing this more. I'm so intimate with women. I'm so caring for them. I need to open myself to letting these good men that are out there, straight or not, be friends with me and accept me and let them in. And that was a big aha moment.
I felt like the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy really balanced, and it was beautiful and powerful and so safe.
So safe, yes.
It's
I
a
felt so safe.
community coming together in sacred space to empower the just the energy of love and healing, and in a safe sacred space, and
I
it's
can
so great.
I can definitely tell you, coming from that retreat and then getting on a motherfucking Greyhound with people trying to fight each other, and guys coming up to me, hey, you got $20? And I'm like, and I said, no, do you? You a dickhead. And I was just like,
What happened? Like what?
I said, I know you grew up in Okolona, but you just came from this retreat. Don't do that. I said, don't do it. And because I almost was about to get up and be like, okay. And I just sat there and I said, okay. Because I'm just like, this is the kind of shit I dealt with in middle school. This is the kind of shit I dealt with in elementary school. This is the shit I dealt with these douchebags in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Calling me all kinds of names because I was into theater, like singing and all this kind of stuff, and having to get out of all of that, and just going from that to that. It was so funny. It was just like, yes, all of that still exists. Yes, you will have to interact with that, but that's not attractive to you, because there are things about that I have found attractive. Hood guys, assholes, thugs, rednecks. Okay, that's the kind of shit I like. I still do. But I'm just saying, like, I don't want, because there have been times where I've been with guys and they've been so nice that I'm like, eh. And I've always wondered, I was like, I'm one of those girls. Okay, I'm one of those girls that likes bad boys. And I'm like, that's a trauma response. We need to quit thinking that's cute. Oh, she's into bad boys. She's into being denied her self-worth. She's into being abused, and she's into feeling less than, and she's so used to that's where she feels safe and comfortable. That's where he feels safe and comfortable. That's where he feels like he has control. If I can go in expecting that you're going to think less of me and I'm below you and I'm the submissive one, or not even, we can be submissive and still be loved too. It's just the one being abused, or get these whole scenes going or these fantasies going. It's like, that's just where we feel, because of parents and because of upbringing, because of experiences, that's where you feel like you're in control, because you can expect it and you know your place. And it's like, that's not doing the work. And this really revealed that to me. And I've got a lot more things that it will reveal, because there were things happening that I started remembering things about middle school and elementary school that I used to write,
Yes.
but I couldn't make out what it was. It was just like you got the whiff or the essence of these things. And I'm like, what are you showing me? What is this? And like, there was just so much to it. And it happened so fast and so much of it was a blur that I was like, oh, God, it's like when you get off the roller coaster and you're like, I waited in line for that. That was amazing, but I need that to happen like 15 more times.
And there's a point where you you can do too much, like if you're doing it too often. So I want to state that too.
Absolutely. And
Again,
I'm
this
right
is
there with you.
not my work. This is how we've done healing. We're just stating that. But vulnerability is what came up for me.
Yes.
I realized I was like, I am only willing to share this much with you.
Absolutely.
And I was like, oh, shit. We're going to work on vulnerability now. And so I pulled some cards today. Ooh. And I was like, damn, spirit is on me. And it's all good, but I definitely, and I got that while you were talking. There's a vulnerability. There's a guard because of protection. There's this ability for protection. There's this, I've gone through this one too many times. And let me just say, like, for me, this has always been in relationships. This is not for me, my daddy issue. Like, I've lost my dad, but for me, this is more in relationships and not knowing my worth. And going into this weekend, it was to see my worth. And I feel like I was shown that in a way, you know? So, and I feel like I got some good nuggets on my vulnerability that I need to heal, and some other things I need to.
Me too. My chest all day today has been kind of warm and a lot of pressure here, which is an ascension symptom, and that is an ascension symptom that's going on right now. It's a lot of chest pressure, but man, my chest was on fire on Saturday. Okay, just felt like, whoa. And it still feels like that. And I have a lot of aches and pains in my body. So I don't know what you're feeling right now, but I'm not getting a lot of head stuff going on right now, but I'm getting a lot of throat activations, a lot of soreness in the body that is not related to all that nature work that we did. And this chest stuff and a lot of solar plexus stuff still. Remember me telling you about that? So something's going on with the solar plexus a lot, and there are probably a lot of people right here, down here, a lot of pressure there, and a lot of like, I'm like, okay, I haven't eaten any gluten. I'm vegan, obviously, but I haven't eaten any gluten or any, but man, it's just like, what is that? So there's a lot of activations happening right now. So when you do things that accelerate the healing process, it can accelerate the symptoms of ascension as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're going to be noticing these things.
Right. Any other ascension symptoms that they need to be on the lookout for right now? Like, I wasn't getting a lot of head stuff. I was getting a lot. So I got a lot of heart pressure, my heart expanding, which also goes to healing, but could have been also, anyway, healing and ascension. But I had the solar plexus and definitely throat. Like, I'm just lined up right here.
And a lot of Kundalini activations happening, lots of heat in the body, feeling that sudden heat and then feeling cold, extreme thirst, definitely feeling dizzy, dizziness or spacey, and like also be mindful of the tones and the ringing. There'll be the slight tone and ringing in the ear, and you can just chalk that up to tinnitus, but no, it comes and then it goes, and there's some kind of frequency downloading, and it can happen a lot, but definitely a lot of tingling going up and down the spine. So a lot of Kundalini stuff going on right now in the collective as well, which that in and of itself is going to heal you. So the thing is with ascension, awakening, Kundalini rising, all of these things, it's going to bring these things up to the surface. Now, what we do as it comes up to the surface, you can just sit back and not do anything, and it will move itself out of the body. You know, all that tremoring and jerking, that's it making movement, okay? And drinking lots of water helps it to move as well, because the water holds those frequencies and carries the toxins out. But what we are doing is taking control, and as these things come up, moving it in healthy ways and moving it out quicker or going deeper, okay? Accelerating the process. Although it's a beautiful process, it's painful. And we also want to be mindful that, and I'm so guilty of it, there's a part of me that, let's just keep digging. Let's just keep digging so we can get this whole healing process over with, so we can just get to that point in our life where everything's good and we feel good and we don't have this sense of dread or loneliness or depression or all, you know, the ups and downs of the ascension process and the spiritual process, because it is not sunshine and rainbows whatsoever. And so we have to be mindful that it's always going to be something to work on, because of how multidimensional you are and how complex we are and how big we actually are. So
can I also just kind of, I know we're closing up here shortly, but I also want to say that this healing work, whether you're doing Reiki or energy healing or plant medicine or you're
shamanic soul retrieval,
all of that.
DNA light activation.
Oh, and I love, that's one of my favorites, by the way. We'll just also throw Rochelle out there, won't we? Like
Rochelle.
So that's one of my favorite forms of healing. So let's just say, like, all of this healing is possible through this, and you're going to go through different stages, and it's different for everybody. And what Spirit is asking me to say is that these go hand in hand with therapy. So
right. Yes, absolutely.
We'll do some plant spirit and also do EMDR or
absolutely
therapy. So we're not telling you what's right for you. Just know, like, all of these work hand in hand so well.
Yes.
Magic,
and there's
energy,
yes.
science.
Very good point.
And follow your gut.
Because it's all the same thing. Yeah. Science is just what we've measured of all that magic up to this point.
That's a really good way to put that. I love that.
So they're not separate. And look, you can look up the science of all this magic at this point. It's almost 2021, baby. Plant medicine is not a tribal woo-woo thing. It is heavily studied and heavily researched at this point. There are people out there who want to, whether it be save their money or do it themselves. It's not really a do-it-yourself type of thing. And it's actually much more powerful in a group. So I would suggest for those of you out there who know somebody who sells mushrooms and can get you some shrooms, and you know somebody who's got some LSD and some DMT, you know, in a little baggie somewhere, be very careful what kind of doors you're about to open. And you want to not do it alone. I don't suggest doing it alone, although everything is your choice. But absolutely have someone there who is trained to hold on to the rope when you go into that vortex and can help pull you out if need be, or just ground you, whatever. But there are people who this is their life purpose doing this work, and you should utilize that, you know. That's why you come to us for psychic readings and not your therapist, and vice versa.
And I would just refer you in the right direction, because I'm not the expert. We're
That's
just
right.
our experience.
I
just refer you in the right direction, really. And for us, this is sharing how we're healing and giving you different options out there for you. And it's really beautiful.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us on the Chronicles of Chiron, the Lion, the Witch, and the Healer. We will see you next week. If you would like to schedule a reading with me, I am an astrologer, psychic medium. And so Jessica and I have a very similar reading style, but we do different things that branch off from there. But if some of you out there have never had your natal chart done, what the fuck are you doing with your life? But also, if you'd like to book a intuitive reading with me, you can go to www.chrystopherwithawymedium.com. You can follow me on Instagram at THE.astromedium. And if you're in the Atlanta area, please come to Eclipse over Roswell. I am the in-house intuitive astrologer there, and I do readings through them, but also I do a weekly astrology course every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You can join through Zoom if you're not in the area, if you're not comfortable going in, or you can come in store and you can pre-register there at visiteclipse.as.me/astro. Take it away.
You all know where you can find me, thejessicatanselle.com. You can schedule a reading or a healing with me. I love that work. I have the Intuitive Witch Circle. We've been doing a lot of mediumship in that on Monday nights. So I have that group every Monday, and Chris and I will be back next Monday at 9:30.
Yes, and you'll see me back here on Soulfire next Sunday at 8 o'clock for the Astro Medium, the weekly cosmic forecast. So I hope to see you there.
And you guys, I have an Oracle Card Masterclass coming up November 22nd. So you can find that on my website. Let's do this. Peace
All
out.
right, I'm good. Peace out.
See
Everyone
y'all
have
later.
a good night.
Bye.